I want to talk to you about the best hardship loans for bad credit. So, if you have bad credit and you are looking for a hardship loan, here is a list I want you to pay attention to. So, the first lender I want to really present to you is actually Avant. And Avant actually does a great job. Avant is an online lender. It's a great hardship loan for bad credit. And the cool thing about Avant is that you get approved within 24 to 48 hours. So if you having a hard time and you're trying to really reconcile your budget and you're looking for a hardship loan for a bad credit, think about Avant, okay? And Avant is actually great for short-term hardship terms. The APR ranges from 9% all the way to 36%, and the loan amounts goes from $2,000 all the way to $35,000. Okay, pretty good. I mean, pretty good for the hardship loan actually. And the loan terms go from 24 to 60 months. And the only thing we don't like, you might not also like with Avant is that they charge you an origination fee that goes all the way to 10%, which means on every dollar that you are approved for, you have a maximum of 10 cents that you are given back to Avant. Okay, the minimum credit score that Avant wants you to have goes from 500 all the way to 550. Okay, but you have the possibility to be funded within one business day. So for a hardship loan, that's pretty good. So 24 hours funding period. And you also have with Avon, you have a short term in terms of a repayment, so short repayment terms, and that's really good. And there are no early payoff fees. That's kind of cool. That's kind of really good. And you can pre-qualify with a soft credit check, so there is no hard inquiry at the beginning. Okay, and also you have a late payment grace period of 10 days, so that's pretty good. On the flip side, Avant does charge an administrative fee. There is a small maximum loan amount, and Avant is not available right now in all 50 states, so that could be a little problematic. So there is no nationwide availability. And also, Avant doesn't want to have co-signers. Okay, so if you're looking for a hardship loan with co-signers, you're not going to have that with Avant. So there are some states where Avant is not available. So Hawaii, Iowa, Maine, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, and West Virginia. So those are states where they haven't secured a banking license yet, so they can't really offer loans in those states. If you're looking for a hardship loan for a bad credit, I want you to think about OneMain Financial this year. And OneMain Financial actually is pretty good for a hardship loan in the sense that if you have bad credit, you can qualify. Okay, and OneMain Financial will give you a maximum loan amount of $20,000. So if you're looking for a hardship loan in the range of $1,500 all the way to $20,000, think about OneMain Financial. Okay, and loan terms go from 24 months all the way to 60 months. The APR range from 18% all the way to 36%. So something to really think about. So OneMain Financial, kind of similar to Avant, will charge you an origination fee of 1% to 10%. Okay, and that's really important to think about. So OneMain Financial actually offers secured and unsecured loans. So whether you are speaking about hardship loans unsecured or hardship loans secured, you are really well served here. And so if you are a bad credit borrower, you can qualify with OneMain Financial. You can get small loans also. Remember, you're looking at the 1,500 all the way to 20 grand, okay? And there are no early payoff fees. That's really good. And you can also pre-qualify with a soft credit check. So that's really good also. And you can also, as a borrower, you can choose the date the bill is due every single month. On the flip side, you can find lower APRs with other lenders. OneMain Financial does charge an origination fee. I've said that before. And you don't have like excessively large loan amounts with OneMain Financial. So if you are looking for a hardship loan for a bad credit for high amounts, you're not going to have that through OneMain Financial. So this is a little, this could be disappointing to some people. And also, there are no co-signers allowed here. If you're looking for a hardship loan for a bad credit, I want you to think about universal credit. So universal credit is actually a great if you're looking for a loan amount that goes all the way to $50,000. Okay, so this lender is great for hardship loans to consolidate debt, and the APR actually goes from 12% all the way to 36%. I mean, there are discounts in some cases, okay? And the loan amounts $1,000 to $50,000, and you have to repay this over 36 months or 60 months. So you have 36, so 3 years or 5 years. And there is an origination fee that you have to pay to actually get this loan, and the fee goes from 5% all the way to 10%. So, and the credit score they want you to have at minimum here goes from 500 all the way to 560. So this is something to really think about, okay? And the cool thing about universal credit is that it will pay old creditors off directly. It allows you to have co-applicants, so that's really good. And you are able to get funds to get funded within 1 business day. You have flexible qualification requirements, okay? And there is no prepayment penalty, so that's kind of cool. On the flip side, you have a high maximum APRs. You do have the origination fee, maximum 10%. You do have also to account for late fees. And also, you have to understand that APRs are generally higher than those offered by top competitors, okay? But the cool thing about universal credit is that you get approved real fast. On top of that, their requirements for eligibility are pretty relaxed in the sense that they will accept you if you have a maximum DTI of 75%, which is really, really high when it comes to DTI. DTI is usually a good DTI should be below 25%, but universal credit will look at your application, even if your DTI is maximum 75%. You must have also at least 2 other credit accounts for upgrade to actually not upgrade for universal credit to actually consider your application. Now let's talk about upgrade. So if you're looking for a hardship loan for a bad credit, I want to introduce to you upgrade. Now everybody knows upgrade in a lot of ways because upgrade is it's a pretty popular neotech. It's a pretty popular neobank, if you will, like a fintech. Okay, and upgrade is great for hardship loans with flexible repayment terms. Here you have an APR that ranges from 10% to 36%, and the loan amounts are kind of similar to universal credit in the sense that you have a range of 1,000 all the way to $50,000. But the loan terms are really more flexible in the sense that you are actually getting anywhere from 24 months all the way to 84 months. So 24 months to 84 months, okay? There is an origination fee that goes from 2% all the way to 10%. And there is a minimum credit score of 500 to 580. So something to really think about, especially if you are trying to get multiple hardship loans through Upgrade. The cool thing is that Upgrade actually offers a flexible repayment terms. It allows you to have a joint application, and also you have funding within 1 business day. Okay, that's something that's really good to think about. So the one thing for sure, if you want to go with Upgrade, I want you to think about the fact that you need to have a verifiable bank account. You need to have a valid email address. You gotta have a minimum credit score that goes from 500 to 580. Okay, and once you have that, you will be very happy because you are able to benefit from range from let's say a repayment window that goes from 24 months all the way to 84 months. Okay, and also don't forget that you need to have a U.S. citizenship or permanent residency, or actually living in the U.S. on a valid visa to actually qualify. But the most important thing for Upgrade is a verifiable bank account because they really look at your bank statement to see your cash inflows and cash outflows. So if you're looking for a hardship loan for a bad credit this year, I want you to think about Upstart. And Upstart does a great job when it comes to having bad credit, but also a fast approval. Upstart is kind of similar to Upgrade in the sense that they are both actually neo banks. Okay, but the thing is, Upstart is actually a little more interesting when it comes to the APR because the APR goes from 7% all the way to 36%. But the loan amounts are the same, by the way, $1,000 to $50,000, and the loan terms can be 36 months or 60 months. Okay, the origination fee goes from 0% all the way to 12%. That's a little higher than the others, though. The others are charging the maximum of 10%, and Upstart is charging actually 12%. But the minimum credit score that Upstart will look at is 300. So that's really good. I mean, when you think about it. So if you're looking for a hardship loan for bad credit, I mean 300. That's actually this can't be more bad credit than that. Okay, so this is really great. 300. So as a bad credit borrower, you can qualify. You will receive funding within 1 business day, and you can change your due date as long as you meet Upstart's criteria. So that's really good. And so one thing I want to say here also is that there are no early payoff fees actually. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view for you to know how to really change things to your advantage. On the flip side, if you think about Upstart as a hardship loan for a bad credit, you are limited to just 2 repayment terms. And this lender actually charges an origination fee. So this could be a little problematic for some people, for some borrowers. And there is no option for co-applicants. Okay, and you also have a high late fees, and also the fact that some people don't like the origination fee of 0 to 12% of the target amount. Okay, and this is really bad because this amount is automatically withheld from the loan before it's delivered to you. If you're looking for a hardship loan for bad credit, I want you to think about LendingPoint this year. So LendingPoint is great for fast approval, especially if you're looking for a hardship loan that actually doesn't give you a 50 grand, but gives you something between like $1,000 and $36,500. So those are the limits that you have to account for if you're thinking about LendingPoint. Okay, and LendingPoint is actually one of the OGs when it comes to online lenders. So if you're looking for a hardship loan for bad credit, think about LendingPoint. LendingPoint is great for debt consolidation, hardship loan, wedding, car repair, home renovations, and more. And the loan amounts go from $1,000 all the way to $36,500. And the terms 24 months all the way to 72 months. Okay, and the credit needed here, you are looking at poor or fair credit. Doesn't matter. So LendingPoint really is pretty flexible in terms of the loan amount, but also in terms of the credit score that they need to actually qualify you. There is an origination fee to account for. Same thing here, same process, maximum 10%, depending upon your state of residence, because every state has imposed regulations in terms of banking. Okay, so what are the pros and cons here? If you think about LendingPoint as a hardship loan for bad credit, you have a fast application with same-day approval. You have possible next-day funding after final documents are verified and approved. They may approve applicants with minimum, let's say, 500 all the way to 620 credit score. They do allow soft inquiry to pre-qualify, so that's really good. And there are no early payoff fees. So this is something to really think about. And you also, if you want to qualify for a LendingPoint loan, you got to have a social security number. You got to have a verifiable personal bank account in your name. and you must live in one of the states where LendingPoint does business. So right now, LendingPoint does not actually work in Nevada and West Virginia. So this is something that's good to know. If you're looking for a hardship loan for bad credit, I want you to think about Prosper this day, okay? And Prosper does a great job in terms of giving you a hardship loan for bad credit that goes from $2,000 all the way to $50,000. And the minimum credit score that you have to really contemplate for let's say a Prosper loan goes from 2,000 all the way to, I mean, the minimum credit score 500 all the way to 560. Okay, and Prosper is a great hardship loan for peer-to-peer lending. Okay, so think about Prosper as a peer-to-peer lending platform that was actually founded 20 years ago. And so the cool thing about Prosper is that you have this sense of community that really helps big time in terms of getting the loan that you really need. Okay, so you have flexible loan amounts, you have accessible minimum credit score, so that's really good. And you also have funding in as few as one business day. As long as you have the community backing up your projects, you are really good to go. Okay, so you can get a hardship loan for bad credit on Prosper real fast. So to qualify for a personal loan through Prosper, you should have a bad to fair credit, so a minimum credit score of 500 to 560. Although the average score of approved borrowers is a 705. And you should also have a minimum credit history of more than 2 years. Prosper doesn't impose a minimum income requirements, but the average borrower has an income of $131,000. Okay. What's more, co-applicants and co-signers are permitted. So that's really good because if you want to increase your chances of being approved, you want to really see if you can have maybe a family member or a friend or a colleague to sort of back you up. Okay. So you can qualify even if you have a weak credit history. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility. And so personal loans that you get through Prosper, you can use them for a range of purposes, including debt consolidation. Okay. And it's one of those things where you want to really plan ahead. Remember, this is a peer-to-peer platform. So if you're able to contextualize your request, you should be approved real fast. So if you're looking for a hardship loan for bad credit, I want you to think about LendingClub this year. I mean, LendingClub is kind of similar to Prosper in the sense that this is a peer-to-peer platform. And with LendingClub, you have a loan amount that goes from 1,000 all the way to 40,000. But LendingClub overall actually offers, it's a platform that offers various financial products, including personal loans, hardship loans, and banking services. And they are in all states except Iowa and the U.S. territories, okay? But the cool thing is that LendingClub actually will give you your cash real fast. So you have direct payoff to creditors with debt consolidation loans. They have loans as small as $1,000 and $4,000 and $40,000, and there is no minimum credit score or income requirements. So that's really great in terms of flexibility. On the flip side, LendingClub charges origination fees, and terms available are only 2 to 5 years. So that's a really problematic, especially if you are looking for something lower or higher, by the way. So those are the 8 hardship loans for bad credit. Let me give you some generalities before we close today's conversation here. The thing is that you have to really understand that a hardship loan is a type of personal loan that you can use if you find yourself in dire financial straits. Similar to emergency loans, hardship loans can cover the cost of living or unexpected cost. So breaking up your day-to-day expenses with a hardship loan can really ease the burden on your budget, helping to bridge the gap while you get back on your feet. However, since hardship loans can come with interest rates and fees, they can also put you in a worse financial position, especially if you are stuck with a high cost of borrowing. Okay. But so that's why you want to really, before getting a hardship loan, you want to review your budget, check your credit score. You want to pre-qualify for multiple hardship loans. You want to verify your information, and you want to close on your loan real fast. And if possible, You can add a cosigner, and you can also apply for a secured loan to really increase your chances of being approved, but also improve the APR that you are finally getting. So here's a quote. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about the best hardship loans for bad credit, and the list includes Avant, OneMain Financial, Universal Credit, Upgrade, Upstart, LendingPoint, Prosper, LendingClub. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.